Hi guys. So
Does this house have a basement?
Yeah.
Can we take a look?
Yes, of course.
yeah, so I randomly just got an idea for a
You shot the video right there. Let me see.
for a video to do right now,
Just
and I feel like I need to do it, or like I should do it.
these pails.
Actually, I never
Oh,
noticed that before.
it's the doggy stretching. What? Maddox, what are you doing? Are you a good boy? It's like a baby boy. You, what? Are you like, mommy? What are you doing? Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. Anyway, I just got this video idea to do, cause hell, I feel like I've possibly given people. I feel like I've possibly given people this impression at times too.
You covered the body of the lie this time.
Something I meant to do, but no.
Well, he's not just a perv anymore, he's a perv murderer.
Guys, let's not get out ahead of our skis.
Let's not get ahead of our skis, Lieutenant, no disrespect.
Okay, I see. Yeah, I don't know where this. I do not know where this phone charger came from, so I'm trying to figure that out right now. Wow, I'm getting distracted right now, but anyway, like,
Look at that new video of CC that you guys say.
I heard someone else mention that like if you work.
Maybe you'll convince someone else.
That like if you work in and I say like a lot. If I do, I'm sorry. I don't mean to sound like a teenager, but yeah, I'm awkward enough.
Open. But I actually didn't want to speak to you about Ava.
Huh, Ducky?
Yes.
What do you want?
Someone else.
Want a good side? You want a good side?
About the video that he kept hidden on his computer. Yeah, I wondered why.
But yeah, I heard it's. I don't know. Even I've heard other people talk about this. Dude, my so-called parents have even said this off and on about how, like, you stink or something along those lines. And more so it came from my so-called mother, who said this a lot, but she used to always tell me when I was a teenager, and still sometimes does tell me, like, you stink, you need to put on deodorant or something like. So I just thought, if there's anyone else, okay, and it's sunny out here, but anyway, that got me thinking though, if there is anyone else who is dealing with someone with Maddox. But yeah, it's like, if anyone is dealing with someone else with mental health issues, and they don't smell the best, or like, let's say they do not brush their hair or their teeth, or basically take care of themselves for long periods of time. Yeah, it's not because we are choosing not to, it's because mental illness can kick your butt and beat you down so bad to the point where even basic hygiene takes so much work. Like, it's not that we mean to like, we do not mean to stink up or to be known as that, like, person. So, yeah. Maddox, what are you doing? Oh. Maddox, what are you doing? But yeah, guys, and the same goes for, like, if someone has PTSD and keeps replaying or talking about the same thing over and over again that has to do with their trauma, it is not, we do not do that because we do not do that, because we want to talk about it and because we do not want to move on. We do it because you can't really just get over trauma, okay? Maddox, what are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah, and my dog is doing what? I don't know. What? Come here! What are you doing? What are you doing, buddy? What are you doing, buddy? Okay. But yeah. And yeah,
Did you rape Ava Parcell?
yeah, like,
Control.
I don't know if this is a bad thing for me to admit, but on here, but it takes a lot for me to shower on, like, I do not even shower every other day, or, well, every day. Like, I shower every other day, if that.
And you
Like, I think at some point I've gone like a week or two without,
It's just like
or like a week and a half without showering until I was forced to when I was a teenager. Like, and I very rarely I very rarely get dressed basically unless I have to go out for therapy or to do some volunteer work. Other than that, I stay home and I stay in my PJs, which
Mr. Taylor,
is basically why I'm always in,
a little rattled, but I'm sure this will help. This way.
which is basically why I always have my robe on too. Cause yeah. Don't know if anyone else has this problem, but I can get cold or colder easier. So yeah. That's why I pretty much always have a robe on. To add at least a little more warmth, which is basically why in some of the videos you see me with a robe or something. So yeah. What? But yeah, it's like yeah, it's like again, it's not that we don't choose. It's not that we do not choose or to like do daily hygiene or something like that, but or not. I don't know. It's just like it's not that we choose to.
In the criminal justice system, sexually based offenses
Like,
are considered especially heinous. In New York City,
It's not that we don't choose not to do these things.
squad known as the Special Victims Unit. These are their stories.
But with mental illness, you cannot just easily, we cannot just easily do these things. Okay?
Homework time.
Well, kids go through phases. I've told.
Well, whatever he's going through right now, I gotta tell you, I'm a little over.
And, yeah,
Maybe you just
like,
need some masculine energy.
for me, I do not brush, and I don't know if this is gross, but, or I shouldn't be mentioning this, but for me, it can also, at least for me, it can be a little more draining when I actually do try and do these things because, yeah, especially things like brushing your teeth and brushing your hair. It's like my hair's a little bit easier because I could just pull my hair to my left side and brush it that way.
Let's make this quick.
But after a while, it starts to hurt my arms because it takes so much muscle
Hey, Gavin.
energy,
Grab shampoo. You can't find my hair, Brad.
and And for someone who has like for someone who has tense muscles or like I don't know if it would be tense or spastic but muscles, but yeah, simple things like that can be hard and draining for that reason, because it does take a lot of muscle energy. So yeah. Right. And again, it's like, well, I don't know if this were, at least my experience with PTSD, it's, yeah. We do not choose to keep, we don't choose to keep going over what happened in our head or why this didn't happen. Because, I mean, you can't really just stop thinking about your trauma, especially if you do have PTSD. Especially if you do have PTSD. Like, if you do have PTSD, that basically makes sure that your trauma doesn't leave you, okay? Well, I feel, I think whether you have PTSD or not, just trauma never leaves you, okay? So anyone who keeps, and I feel like neurotypical people who obviously live in a sheltered little bubble, who have never had to deal with this kind of trauma, or who never had to deal with trauma, period. One, I hope the bubble never gets burst. But two, dude, our trauma basically doesn't leave us once we actually stop detaching from the trauma and acknowledge the trauma. And apparently I'm not there yet. Dude, for me right now, I can talk about what happened as if it didn't happen, cause I don't know if I actually believe it yet, that, this actually happened to me, and my therapist actually says, you're detached from this, from this trauma. But more so what keeps going on in my mind is, why didn't these people around me help me sooner and get me help sooner, especially since I kept telling them that I don't really feel that I don't really feel safe anywhere else except for with you guys, basically. In a way. Well, I didn't say those words exactly, but that's kind of what I was getting at. And they did nothing. Or at least they did nothing themselves. But what they did do caused way more trauma. And
What? And Ben stopped.
the few people who know about this, yeah. And the person who I still kind of have communication with, if I bring this up now at this point,
Infinity rapist? You guys think it was him?
after the case has been like long done with,
Sure, but
then
the MO.
like I could just hear in her voice that she gets annoyed as hell when I bring this up. And it's like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to constantly be bringing this up, but it's part of the trauma that has happened, so I can't really stop thinking about this.
You told me to shut up.
And if I try to, it'll come back at some point, so sorry. Like, I hope you never have to experience this, and I hope your bubble does not burst in that way, but
Box was untouched.
This would have been something personal.
yeah.
Wait, I couldn't find my hairbrush. Does that matter?
Sorry guys, I am like, sorry guys, but I'm trying to figure something out.
No idea how haunted my father was about these days.
What now? Like, I don't know. Yeah. Oh no. Okay, I don't know if I might be going insane here, but I'm thinking of dyeing my hair a few different colors.
How old are you? 7?
Like, keep the caramel that's in my hair, but also put red. So how the brown fit into caramel, the caramel fit into red, and the red fit into, I don't know, something like a blue or purple. or or both. So and I think
What wasn't made public and was consistent.
I think I'm possibly going insane at this point.
With a tied up husband to hear.
And this guy made April keep quiet.
But
Infinity's got
yeah.
a lot of fans online. Serial
Hmm?
rapist, serial killer message.
Maddox, who's a good boy? What are you doing?
Fantasizing.
What are you looking at?
25 years to the day.
What are you looking at?
Anniversary.
What are you looking at, buddy?
Wikipedia page up.
What are you looking at, buddy?
Oh no, it was last updated 2 hours before the Baker assault.
Oh,
Yeah, I do not know what this boy is looking at.
Real Infinity
Huh?
23.
What are you looking at, buddy?
check on the address.
What are you looking at? Huh? Huh?
Thanks, Carl Patton. He posted
Oh.
on his message boards and lots of all the LA fans.
Yeah.
NYPD.
But
What?
yeah.
Looking for Carl Patton.
My little brother? Whatever you think he did, he probably did.
Where is he?
And also, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but if I have mentioned it in like another video or something, I'm gonna say it again because apparently neurotypical people don't get this, but recovery from anything, but especially trauma.
You were right. This guy is obsessed.
Oh, especially recovery from trauma. It's not a straight line.
What's this?
Carl Patton,
Okay? It's not a straight line up.
you're under arrest.
Recovery is all over the place. It's like you go up and then you go back down. It's all over the place, okay? And I feel, I don't know if this goes for anyone else, but I feel like if you have to try and recover from trauma, it basically forces you on a spiritual, or it forces you to get spiritual.
You said a story.
you caught that cop?
Look, the game's over, Carl. Wipe that stupid smirk off your face. Tell us what you did.
I've been waiting for this
Because,
moment for 5
yeah.
years. I want to savor it.
We all have a soul, and I'm pretty sure the trauma you get exposed
Confess.
to, if you happen to get exposed to trauma,
I raped her.
I mean, I hope no one has to experience any kind of trauma, but I feel like if you do get exposed to trauma, whether it's early on in childhood or even when you're an adult,
Insanity defense?
I feel like the trauma you get exposed to trauma basically is soul destroying.
From social media, he's
So,
obsessed with infinity since he was a teenager.
We know he's good for April again.
He planned it to commemorate the 25th anniversary of Infinity's last rape. The DNA found on the hairs from the baker's bedroom is a match, and CSU found April's brush in his workroom, which was a treasure trove of Infinity's paraphernalia,
so
including this letter.
yeah, I feel like
Lab made a copy of.
if trauma destroys the soul, you're basically forced on a spiritual journey to basically recover your soul and to try and become a completely new person. And I'm pretty sure that's why it's so hard. Actually, no. Like, basically near impossible to completely let go of the trauma, because trauma does kill your soul in a way. In a way, trauma does kill your soul, and you do have to learn to live with that damage, and you have to learn to become a completely new person. Because it does change who you are completely as a person, okay? Like, in the past, before all this trauma happened to me,
I'm working on my 4th book. I've already had an interview with Mr. Patton.
I was never really fighter. Like, I didn't want to fight or start anything with anyone, even verbally. Like, I just didn't want confrontation at all. And now, if someone starts something with me, I mean, I'll try and de-escalate it. I'll try and de-escalate it first before, so that way it cannot escalate to actual physical violence. But if my attempts to de-escalate the situation verbally do not work, or the other person is just out for violence and out for a fight, I mean, I still will try and de-escalate it. But if they throw a punch or a kick, or they start a physical fight, I will do what I need to defend myself.
You know, my dad sent me and my sister to live with my Aunt Carolyn in Montana.
Because I'm just done being taken advantage of and being abused. So, yeah.
Sounds like you might have been trying to protect you.
And again,
Turn this up.
like, I don't know why I feel the need to say this again, but in a way, that's kind of why I decided to start this YouTube channel in the first place, to, like, partly one, to vent about anything I need to. So basically, as, like, I don't know if this would or could count as, like, a video journal type thing. but hopefully to also like try and change society or get through to people and change society for the better, or at least help the change in society for the better. But also, like, if doing YouTube can bring in some money for me and can be used as a job, then that would be great too. So yeah. And
Leo had his key in the front door, and suddenly he was just there. Ski mask, gloves, he had a knife. I wanted to fight, to scream, but Leo said no, we do whatever he wanted. We didn't want to die.
What happened there?
He put the knife to Leo's throat. He had me tie him up, stack the plates, everything the way I had researched.
Sorry, guys. Like, yeah.
Then he tied me up and he raped me.
My right hand is my more dominant hand, so I'm not.
Told me to moan. I was enjoying it.
So sorry, Mr. Barry. Did you get a sense of his age?
He was an old man. He had old man.
But yeah.
My husband is still in the hospital. He's too old for this.
Anyway, like,
He comes back.
yeah.
That's what he does. What if he comes back?
Guys.
I want this son of a bitch.
We have every available officer working overtime.
Yeah.
We're pulling street cams, we're pulling security cams from every bodega, bank, and lobby
And
on
like,
the Upper East Side.
I basically cleaned out my friend list
CSU is going
on my Facebook and like, well, on all of my social media accounts. I basically cleaned out my friend list and even my contact list. I cleaned that out of either people I don't really talk to or of people who know, or of people who are not really my friends but just I'm friends with because they are friends with my parents or my so-called parents. And again, I feel like people need to understand this, but narcissists and abusers don't really have friends at all. They have enablers. They have enablers, or at the very least, people who they know will just look the other way. Like, they basically don't have friends because they're incapable of loving or feeling any kind of human emotion.
This was 30 years ago, for God's sakes.
Like, I'm still in contact with one of my mother, or like quote unquote mothers. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't even want to call her a friend at this point. Or a family friend at this point. Because it's like, again, narcissists do not really have friends. They have enablers. That's it.
Yeah, the bad news is there's no means of voters.
So I mean, and I'm seriously at this point where I don't want to burst her bubble, but they already tried turning on her once. And they already started making her life hell once when they found out she was helping me in the financial area of my life. Once we found out that my parents were taking money from my account, yeah, they basically turned on her since then. I'm pretty sure. Or at least that's what she made it seem like.
You can help us. Last June, you sent in a DNA sample.
Because she is friends with
I guess I got sucked in by the TV.
other quote-unquote friends of my parents. So,
Serious.
and her friends have basically been ignoring her. I don't know if it's still that way, but like, I don't know if it's still that way, but that's what I heard of last time,
Cousins or brothers.
or what when she brought that up. So,
Not as relatively be a male. And all the
no. In a way,
Uncle Edgar? My mom's big brother.
I'm torn because,
He lives in New York.
His whole life.
you know, I'm still living with my so-called parents, and I know that when I leave the house,
94?
oh, like,
Man in the world. What do you think he did?
We're gonna need his dress.
a shitstorm is basically going to happen
Illegal?
We're gonna talk.
once I leave, but, which is kind of why I am cutting contact with these people that know my parents now, because, or I'm trying to, because, I mean, if I'm not in contact with them and my parents spread lies about me to them, like they've done with this other, like they've already done with one of their so-called friends, because she's been helping me in the financial area, or at the very least she helped me uncover the financial abuse.
Yes. What's this about? NYPD.
Like, they turned on her and made other people turn on her. So it's like, in a way, I feel a little sympathy for her, because I know that when I move out, they're gonna go after her, but at the same time, I kind of don't. Because ever since that happened, she basically told me, like, I'm not gonna be helping you in the financial area. And then she was the one who jumped the gun and said, like, oh, if this goes to court,
Yeah.
then I'm not gonna sit there and listen to you talk about your parents like this, because I don't want to be involved. Like, dude, you're already involved. You cannot. So, you know what? You can try and distance yourself from me. That is fine. But you're already involved. So when I move out, trust me, they're gonna come after you.
Arrest you for 23 rapes.
And you basically have shown me you care, in that moment, that you care more about what my parents think than, or
If we had the
at the very least, you still want to maintain friendship with my parents. So I'm sorry, but you will be losing that.
places,
You will be losing contact with me then.
people would go around. And you all have an alibi.
And I mean, like, I have not had this conversation with her yet, but I'm pretty damn sure I will be in the very near future. So yeah, I'll see how that goes.
Cold.
But yeah.
You would have gotten away with it.
Maybe
Anyway,
the world sees you. Now you get to go to prison for life.
There's ADA still in there.
yeah.
Am I ready to unlock?
Again, I feel like I should just come on here and say this, but we'll make a video about this or this kind of thing. So yeah, bye guys.